Good night, here one time tonight. God is good and God is good all the time. My name is Army Jazz Praise Divine. I'm here to get a short news on tonight. First, we're going to start with City Council. So the judge temporarily blocked the mayor from spending money. So the judge, he issued a temporary restraining order, to stop mayor from spending any other procedure of the trust without a court approval you know. So 108 years old trust that worth millions of dollars, and that the city council the claim was supposed to expire and turn over to the city government of 2014. So Judge Reese, he issued a temporary restraining order, to stop mayor or any other beneficial of 1944 14 Western Trust from spending it proceeding without a court approval. You know, so so the city councilor took the court action. So all this going on, so the city council took the court action to have the trust dissolved, once and for all. You know, it was set up by the landowner Edward Wesner, to reverse the city after 100 years. So but the trust had been extended by Western Air in the last two, the New Orleans mayor um, and her predecessor, Michelin. If the trust dissolved, all of the land in its proceed will go to the city and be overseen by the city council, through the normal budget process, you know. Um, but by keeping the trust in place, the mayor of New Orleans were able to do out the city share through grants. However, they wanted, they lost 21 millions of dollars failing to dissolve the trust. So if you don't dissolve the trust, it will stay in place and the funds will still be used. So if you dissolve the trust, it will be overseen by the city council and it will, have a normal budget process. Someone will be managing the budget. So they used to meet in public hearing to consider the application for nonprofit seeking Western grant from the mayor. That panel would recommend grant recipients who were required to file a report detailing how they spent the grant money. You know, so they need other people to be involved. About this grant money. To see how much and where it's going to. But in 2020, the mayor joined with the Western Air attorney now to change the public trust into a private entitlement. So the public hearing and public report on the spending stock. So long as it was um a public trust, other people were reporting on spending to stop. You know, so the city council August that move was illegal and asking the judge to issue an injunction at the hearing for this week. So all this about, been talking about it for weeks. We're talking about it for weeks about the spending of the trust. So that the spending was not being approved. And so it was like they were saying like it was not spent where it's supposed to be spent at, and it was not getting approved. You know, so so the judge has put a restraining order, had to place a restraining order to get it stopped. Because the trust is like millions of dollars, and other people have to be monitoring of the budget of what's being spent, who is spending too. You know, so one I had one Judge Reese issue a temporary restraining order to stop mayor from spending money. Okay, so a trust fund should not be spent on personal things. B it should be spent only on expenses on city, because there are plenty of work needed to be done. You know, see, spending city funds should be approved, because that's a lot of money. All the ones that on board sitting at the table should have, should be approved by someone on the board. See, because it's a lot of money it being spent, and you have to have other people to approve it, to see what is going to, you know, how much is being spent, because this is a trust fund with millions of dollars, and sometimes you might have to spend millions of dollars to get certain stuff fixed or get any kind of maintenance work done, and it should go strictly on expenses for the city, So, um, one, I request that the city owned funds only be spent only on city issues and maintenance work that needs to be done, you know. And two, I request that the trust be dissolved. I request for the funds, the trust to be dissolved. And A, I request that it be overseen by city councilor for normal budget process. You know, and three, I request that the public trust stay remain. You know, stay remain, because everyone that's at that seat on the board, that seat needs to it needs to be managed. It needs to be overseen by someone. Because it's a lot of money for one person just to be spending the money and not getting approved. You know, all funds of the trust have to be approved by someone at the board at the table. You know, so we talk about this judge had issue of restraining order to stop the spending of the trust fund. And he wanted to be approved. It never was being approved. But that kind of money, it has to be approved. So it was millions of dollars, and they said they lost millions of dollars because of the spending. So so the judge issued a restraining order to stop the funds. And the city council had took over because they want the trust to be dissolved. So it can oversee with someone to manage the trust fund. The trust been extended by Western Air, and the trust, they want the trust to be dissolved. Once the trust be dissolved, the city, it will be overseen by the city council, through normal budget process, so I want to be managing the budget process, seeing where it's going to, and where being spent on, so keeping the trust in place, the New Orleans were able to do the city share through the grant, however they want, so they had lost 21 millions of dollars failing to dissolve the trust, so the trust needs to be dissolved, you know, and they want to change the public trust into a private trust, and I request that it stay public, so so I had requests that city funds only be spent on city issues and maintenance work. I request that the trust be dissolved. You know, I request that it be overseen by city council for normal budget process. So someone have to manage the budget to see where the money is going and how much is being spent. That have to be managed by someone, and it have to be approved by someone. So I have requests that the public trust remain public trust, not change it to private trust. Because everyone that's sitting at the board that seat, have to manage and see where funds are going to. So that's all the show news I have for you. Oh, wait, I do have some. I have an update. a federal judge called teens just to be moved to Angola. Jefferson Parish federal judge um, called a plan to arrange dozens of teenagers to be moved to Angola. And ruling the court judge Shirley Dix said that while locking children in cell at night, Angola threat is a harm to themselves. So residents have for the prison to be closed. Now the resident is complaining, because they live right there by the center, and it said so many people escaped, and the ones who escaped was the one was breaking in people's cars and stuff. So they figure they're gonna break in their house, so they're not safe right there by that center with all them breakout. So the judge's decision is disappointing, but that they continue to look for ways to keep the teenager out of Angola. You know, so this is an update. I have requested all teenagers stay out of that. You do not transfer teenagers to Angola. Unless they kill someone or have a major charge on their file. If they ain't killed no one, they have no major charge on their file. I request that they don't be moved to Angola. So if they don't have any major charge, let them remain at the center. I request that all teenagers um do not be moved to Angola if they don't have no major charge on their file. They got, little simple charge on their file and the inner center trying to teach them a lesson. Let them stay in the center unless they done kill someone and did a major crime. Then you probably can move into Angola until then, if they haven't done no major crime, I request that they don't be moved to Angola. Let them stay at the center and continue on serving their time. So now that's all the show news I have for you tonight, and I see you on the next video.